Thursday night. I haven't said that before. It is Thursday night. We skipped last night. Hope y'all saw the community post so you weren't waiting around for us. But here we are, Thursday night live. It is 7-Eleven, which we're going to talk about later, 7-Eleven, and think about it, which is your favorite 7-Eleven across the United States and overseas. So Thursday night, 7-Eleven, SFMF Live. Welcome, everybody. God bless you all. Hope you are having a good week. It's almost over. So, a couple great. Oh, let me pull myself up on the big screen up here, and we will kick it live. Are we live? Is everything good? It says I'm live, and there it is. All right. So again, welcome everybody. Thursday night, SFMF Live. Semper Fi, my friend. Carl Green is up. Semper Fi, do or die. Remember that because we're going to talk about tattoos tonight too. Did a short on tattoo. Did a community post on tattoos. A couple, and it's, come on, yeah, you can. How can you not talk about tattoos? What motivates me and what I really like to see is those of you who still haven't got a tattoo. Just a different thought process on tattoos, because the difference between somebody sleeved up all over it and then another Marine. So is it a Marine thing or is it not? Military thing, civilian thing. It's an anybody and everybody thing, but it's on you. And it is forever. OG. Semper Fi, brother. Welcome. Thursday night. I almost said Sunday. Thursday night. Next one will be on Sunday, though. It is Thursday. Carl, best me here again. Beat you there again. May have to put you on payroll. Yes. Carl was on before you, producer. And we are still traveling, everybody. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Always wanted EGA, but never got one. You know what? It's same, Carl. I felt the same way. Got my moto tat and just one. What I did do, and I've told the story before how I got the bulldog before boot camp. It was a bulldog with an M16. Of course, he was all buff and had on cami bottoms and boots. And when I went to the tattoo, my brother took me there. It was my gift from my brother going into the Marine Corps. So he bought it for me. It's his fault. It's his fault I got thrashed for 3 months because of it. But I wanted an original one, and that's what we'll talk about here in a little bit. I wanted one that nobody else had. So I didn't pick from the book. I didn't pick from the wall. I love the traditional ones. Modern ones, they're changing with the times. Those are awesome too. I really love tattoos. I just have the one moto tattoo, but I just wanted to make sure it was original and no one else had it. And now I'm thinking, after we did the post, I was like, yeah, mine's original too. Man, I wonder if anybody else got it, because the tattoo artist had it. I'm sure he put it in his book, took a picture of it. And nobody better have that same tattoo. And it is different because when I did graduate, the rite of passage, I actually did make it because it was just a bulldog. What made it a moto tat was after boot camp, when I actually did make it. That's when I got USMC right underneath. So that's when it turned into a moto tat. And that is, again, the rite of passage, right? You can't get an airman can't get an Air Force aim high tattoo until they're actually in the Air Force. So it is that rite of passage, I think, for everybody. And even sports teams, or we had one guy in the comments, he had his platoon number tattooed on him. Hurrah, motivation. But he couldn't do it until he graduated. Hurrah. Blitz is asking, can you bring your own running shoes to San Diego Depot? Somebody current tell me that, because I brought mine. I remember the recruiter telling me, if you have comfortable running shoes, you're a runner, bring your shoes. So I did. I brought my high top Reebok running shoes. They're soft leather. They're new, high top. They weren't running shoes at all. If you know, you know. They weren't running shoes, but I actually did like to run them. Kind of a big guy, and I like the support on my ankles. Anyway, I brought them to boot camp. with the intent on spending 3 months with them. And when it came time for when we're in receiving, we're on our knees behind that red box and they're throwing gear at us and stress is slinging all over the place. Everyone's freaking out. When it came to the time where you get up and go get your shoes, go up and tell the guy behind the counter, size 12. I stayed there. I never left my box because I already had shoes. And when the DI, again, who was 8 feet tall, he looked down and slapped me. Why don't you get your shoes? Get up and get in line. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna run in these shoes. Right? Big mistake. So good question, Blitz. If somebody can answer that, can you bring your own? Skylar T says, yes, you can. Again, make sure they're running shoes though, not some Jordan high top something. Don't bring no Yeezys, any kind of crazy shoes. Make sure they're running shoes, certified good running shoes, or you'll get thrashed the very first day when you say you brought them to PT. You can also bring your own banking information now. The frost call just went out. Banking information. What? You ain't been doing no banking in boot camp. You're going to do some thrashing. Better not be banking online in boot camp. All right, once again, welcome everybody. Thursday night, Thursday, 7-11. Again, we switched it last night, just helping a friend out is really why, to be completely transparent. And now we're here. Still Thursday, or I mean, it's still Sunday. We're still going Sunday. So come back with us on Sunday as well. Thursday, kind of weird. And I was not fiending for it last night, but I was like, wow, it's really weird. It's a Wednesday night and we're not live. But I did get some work done. So it's good. Good to be back. Skylar says you can either have them make an account for the bank on base for direct deposit for your, I guess so. So no, that's interesting, Skylar. Again, you got some old timers on here. It's much different. We had, in boot camp, we had the paper chits. We ripped it off, said 10 cents, whatever, $20. That's how we paid all through boot camp. And again, I was one of those guys that didn't know I was paying for all my uniforms. They just took it out of my check. But the only place we could start direct deposit at that time was Navy Federal Credit Union in Okinawa. So that was a big thing. That's come to find out later. That's why everyone did like to go to Okinawa, their first duty station, because that's the one you could start your account. I know it's changed a ton since then, and your banking account, who knows how they set it up now, but I'm sure everything is direct deposit immediately, because we're also getting hard checks for a little while until the direct deposit hit. Different pay system now, but that's good to know, Skylar T. Thank you. And Skylar T, you're active duty right now. Let us know what you're doing. Where are you? What are you doing? You must be active or just recently. Thanks for the information. 420 Network is here. 7-Eleven, here we grow. All right, 7-Eleven. We'll talk about 7-Elevens. Happy birthday, Delma. Good on you. And we hooked her up yesterday, just so you know, the 2 CCs, the sergeant and the sergeant major. Cool. Thanks for remembering. Blitz, my medical paperwork might get sent to the board of directors or something. I don't remember, but how long does that usually take? Blitz is out. It sounds like you submitted for your disability. It's a lot faster now. I did a short about a year ago on the actual numbers, like 200 and something days. I don't remember what it was. I think it's a lot better now. And here's what, every time I talked about, when you submit your disability claim, be aggressive, but be patient. It's going to take time, depending on what state you're in, depending on how efficient that particular VA is. I submitted mine and kind of forgot all about it. And next thing I knew is they were calling me up, hey, you got to do a follow-up here, follow-up there. This is your rating, and it just started rolling. It was good. I didn't, it wasn't a pain in the butt. You hear some horror stories about that, but it wasn't for me. I did make 2 copies of my medical record, which somebody had told me a long time ago. As soon as I got out, received my medical record, made for literally 2 full copies. And my medical record wasn't that thick. I kept the original and turned in when they said we need a copy of your medical record. I actually drove it down there and handed it. I didn't mail it or anything. So just be patient. Carl Green remembers treasury checks and money chits. NFC. You're old, Carl. Just kidding. I remember that stuff too. Skylar T. Who's trying to reenlist? Oh, Blitz. Yeah, Blitz. Let's hear what you're talking about. Good questions, but let's hear why you're asking those questions. All right. Well, once again, welcome everybody. God bless you all. What is everyone drinking? I kind of switch it up, not too much. You can pretty much guarantee I'm always going to have some coffee. All day I drink coffee. Not a lot, but at least with each meal, I drink some coffee, and then even after a meal, because it doesn't keep me up. Ask my wife. I absolutely do love coffee. You know, our friends at Ariel Resupply, again, not affiliated to him, but we just love it. Small, veteran-owned business. We like to support them. We'll always support every time. 420 Network, RSO and Monster Time is announced. What's RSO? Trying to figure that one out. RSO. Range Safety Officer and Monster Time. Ever. Not too many monsters. Bob, you got to drink some water too. Ginger Ale says, Stephen Romero. Soda water for now, says Carl. John Wolf. Yes. This is always interesting to see what everyone drinks. Water. Hydrate. Wherever you are, you got to be drinking water. It's a hot time of the year. And look, you always notice I have 2 drinks. This is my water. There are many like it, but this one is mine. We'll talk about some jargon too in a little while. I was thinking of a bunch of jargon that we learned, not naval terminology, jargon. And another thing, if you know, you know. Once I start saying some of these, you're going to be, oh, yeah, I remember that. I will absolutely, Stephen, and that's kind of what I do. And if y'all hear a whining or a barking, guess who's with me tonight? Mad Dog Mattis. Yes, he is. We'll see how he does tonight. It's just me and just the boys tonight. So hang with us. Gave him a treat, shoved some treats in one of his toys, but he's pretty efficient. He's going to get those out and want some more. So hang with me. All right. Gallon of water, Carl, that's a lot. It's good for you. Joe Warren, good evening to you, brother. All right, let's talk about the first topic I'd like to talk about. And it was a short. You know, I like to talk about the shorts a couple of days later. Got a lot of feedback on it. And that's tattoos. First and foremost, the tattoo policy, somebody called it ever flowing. That's probably not the word they use, but it is. It's ever changing. And there's what it depends on when a new guy or girl comes in, a new thought process, a new tattoo appears. We talked about people wanting exceptions to the rules because they're a little selfish. Hey, buddy, come. It's just me and him, so he's going to be with us tonight. Hope nobody minds. So the tattoo policy 1, here's what I recommend. Know the policy before you enlist, or if you're going to go the officer route. Know it, but also know that it's going to change. And chances are it's going to change during your time. I told this story about my daughter when she joined. She has a bamboo wrist tattoo. All the women in my family have it. Bend, don't break. It's awesome. It's a family tradition. And she got it where at the time the policy was you could have it from a certain point of your wrist and up. Come here. But when the recruiter did the actual measurement and the tape measure and the ruler, and it was a little too low. Submitted a waiver, went up the chain of command, and it's obviously, hey, come here, come. It was one of those things that it wasn't going to stop her from joining. It wasn't a face tattoo. It wasn't a gang related. It wasn't, they put some thought into it. That's what waivers are for. Hey, come here, come. So, should have brought him some treats over here. Where's your toy? So know the policy, but know it's going to change. Just you got to use some common sense. Okay, don't get that face tattoo and then try to enlist. Know the rules before you go in. You can be grandfathered in as well if they change after you go in. So just be smart about your tattoos. Now, what kind of tattoo are you going to get? Come here. Come. Do you like the traditional ones? Eagle over an acre. Everyone likes the eagle over an acre. Was it you, Carl, that said you wanted to get one you never did? I did too. Come. I didn't know where to get it. I got my Moto Bulldog and it's on my back. Can be hidden if it's not where you can see it. If I just put a shirt on, you can't see it. That was my idea. If I ever needed to, because of policy changes, if I ever want to do MSG or be on a duty where I had to hide it, I could. And I still wanted my Moto tattoo because the rite of passage is there. Old school ones, I love seeing the old Vietnam veterans with the old school eagle over an anchor right on their forearm. And it's years and decades old and it has that look to it. Love those. Those are motivating. And then you see some really creative new modern ones. Still eagle over an acre, still representing. And then with the flag behind it and the skin ripping open, some great tattoos. I didn't get any more personally. Some do. Look, a scholar says neck up. I think you're telling me you cannot have it. Here's a rule as far as I can remember, as long as I can remember. And again, common sense. Nothing from the neck up or the wrist forward. Common sense. If you wear a long sleeve, any uniform in the Marine Corps, except the Charlies, long sleeve, you can cover it up. So you want to be on the safe side. MSG is not going to allow those sleeves. I don't think they ever will. So you got to be smart when you get them. And of course, the gang-related ones, inappropriate ones, political ones that bash somebody or something, just be smart about your tattoo because it's there forever. Yes, you can get it cover up, you can get them laser removed, but why go through all that? Know what you want and make it appropriate. But which ones do you like? Sean Hunter says, so I can't join even if it's small and behind my ear. Great question, Sean. That's for your recruiter to determine and if it's going to be waived or not. And that's one, again, above the neck, below the hand, or below the wrist. That you're taking a chance if you already have it, but put in for the waiver. Request a waiver. That's what the waiver is for. Yeah, my own daughter had to get a waiver because hers, I'm telling you, it was like a 1/64th of an inch too low on her wrist. It was ridiculous. Puts on the watch, you can't see it. And it was a bamboo. It was a completely legitimate tattoo. Adam said, get it removed. I don't know about that. I don't know the process of it. I know people do get them laser removed. It's probably painful and expensive. But here's the question. How bad do you want to be a Marine at ROW? I would check into the waiver first. Definitely check the waiver. But the difference, again, and back to the rite of passage. Wait till you pass before you get one. Salty Saxy, Abra, good to see you. I think I'm gonna have to let the dog out here in a minute. Adam says, exactly. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to you? All right, getting it removed. I'm gonna go let him out. You guys hang tight. Don't go anywhere. Yep. You're being a pain. Go. Come. All right, apologies. Best course, wait until I just saw myself run across the screen. That was my funny run. Good thing I had pants on. Best course, wait till after boot camp. Definitely wait till after. The devil dog let the dog out. I left the door open too in case he needs to come back. What's up, Jake? Semper Fi, brother. Yes, thank you, producer. My producer's not here to dress me. That's why I'm wearing green shorts and a black shirt. I have no adult supervision right now. That's why I'm eating Pop-Tarts and drinking Monsters for dinner and breakfast and maybe lunch. You need to come save me. So tattoos. You know what I always wanted, and good thing, I'm glad my wife talked me out of it. Wanted my name across my belly. That was popular for a little while in Old English. Glad I didn't do that. Back tattoos. You know, I'll tell you the favorite tattoo I've ever seen, and I'm, again, some extravagant ones, Marine Corps related. The death before dishonor, the death himself. Right, this would be a cool tattoo right here. So let me get that. I saw this Marine. He was tall, and I was doing a swim qual or something, qualifying for a swim qual. This guy just had, the letters were about this big, across from shoulder to shoulder. Just said Marine. Not fancy. I don't know what font it was, but it was just clean, clear, big. He looked like a swimmer. He had really wide shoulders. He was slender, but shoulder to shoulder Marine. I just want a sticker like that too. But it looked good. It looked real good. Again, nothing fancy, no Old English. It wasn't hard to read. The USMC I got underneath my Bulldog is in Old English. It doesn't look that good. I wish I would have got just a plain font so you can see it. Actually, I wish I would have put US Marine or just Marine. So think about it before you jump into it, before you get it right outside Paris Island or San Diego. Take some time, think about it. Think about it now if you haven't joined yet, but think about it before you do it. It's on there for life. And go with the buddy. Go with a tattoo artist told me one time, the tattoo's not as significant as who you're getting a tattoo with, right? I got one with my brother and with my wife, so couldn't be more significant right there. It's pretty cool. All right. Uh-oh. Ace is high. 777 says you can't hear me very well. Is everything good on the volume? Did I lose anything when I ran away? Let me know. Carl, how's the sound? Production team, how's the sound? Because I definitely can speak up. I like talking loud. She gets not angry, but I got to keep it to a low conversational tone. All right, best tats are done in the Philippines and Thailand. Carl Green says, Lima Charlie, loud and clear. Era. So Lima Charlie, Aces High said, just joined, it's clear. Oh, good. All right. Lima Charlie, Lima Charlie. Lima Charlie is another one, loud and clear. So I was with my daughter, was here for a couple of days. She was back to training, Sergeant Cece. Again, we're going to talk about what she does to support our channel. Remember, these bad boys just ship some off. Talk about them in a minute. But I was talking about some jargon, not naval terminology. We know naval terminology. We talk about that a lot. Head, bulkhead, porthole, rack, military time. Still use it. Some of you still do. Some of you don't. Some of you never really got it. Military time, guys, just clears everything up. There's no doubt. If I say I'm going to meet you at 05, you know exactly, not 5 in the evening. But the other ones in boot camp, the things that drone instructors come up with and where do they come from and how a fart sack. If you tell a Marine right now, hey, go get a fart sack, you know exactly what he's talking about. But a civilian will look at you like, you're going to get a sack of farts? Fart sack. It's a mattress cover. It's just common knowledge. Everyone knows that. Moonbeam, flashlight. Who thought of these things? How long ago and how long have they been around? Ink stick. It's a pen. Come on. The terminology that Marines make up. Okay, we have naval terminology, we have English, and then we got Marine terminology. And I love it. And it's just it's the John Wayne P-38. Another one. It's just so funny to hear these things. And when you're talking to somebody, there's civilians around, and they say, what are you talking about? A fart sack, a scuzz brush. What is a scuzz brush? Oh, everyone knows what a scuzz brush is. That's how you do the scuzz brush races in boot camp. Deck towel. It's a towel that you use for the deck. It's just, I guess that's a little naval terminology as well. BCGs, birth control glasses. Forgot about them. So what my daughter and I did, we wrote down a couple over the last couple of days. waiting for tonight to share it with you. So as you think of them, put them up, please. How about soup cooler? Shut your soup cooler. Shut your mouth, because that's what cools your soup. Who thought of that? What DI thought of that and used it? There are a couple we don't want to say on here because they're a little R-rated, but just the things that they come up with, but it sticks with you forever. So if you see a Marine on the street, you know that you need a fart sack to cover a rack. The heck's a rack? I like the light duty kids, the light duty commando, the ones on crutches, sticks. Used to love, come here, sticks, glasses, come here, portholes. Remember those you wore boot camp, the BCGs in boot camp, the tape that the drone instructor put a big thick white tape right in the center. And we told you it was so your glasses don't slip. Just messing with you. Man, it looks funny. Big roll of tape right here. We used to put some on the sides too. And then the brain strap, pow. That was the brain strap. That's not what it's called. It is for Marines. All those things are just hilarious to me. Now, but again, it's just our language. All right. Q, thinking about reenlisting into the Marine Corps after 2 years in Civ Div. So you got out. Here we go, Q. You were in, you got out, you've been in Civ Div for another terminology. So you got out after, I'm guessing, your first enlistment. Now you're out, you've been out for 2 years, now you're trying to reenlist. First of all, that's not easy. That's not easy to do. So get on it. Start the package right now or tomorrow. Start it tomorrow because it takes time. And that's a, what's that recruiter called? Prior Service Recruiter, PSR. Prior Service Recruiter. Find one locally, and there might not be one, but find one at the nearest RS and start working that now because that takes some time. And here's why. Do they want to invest, does the Marine Corps want to invest a whole bunch of money in you or someone brand new? Why'd you get out? I'm not asking you, but that's the kind of questions that go through their mind. So it's not easy getting back in. I'll tell you that. It's possible. You just got to be patient, but be aggressive and make it happen. And I don't know, I haven't seen if anybody replied to you, but if you're thinking about it, if you want my personal opinion, 100% absolutely. When I was in 5th Marines, when Iraq we were doing multiple back-to-back, a lot of Marines got out. They needed a break. 6 months, 4 months, a year, Marines start calling me back and saying, can you get me back in? Can you get me back in? I need to get back in. And it's just, it happens. It's just not as easy. All right. That's why there's so many more recruiters than there are prior service recruiters. They want some fresh blood. So get on it. If you're thinking about it, get on it. It could take up to a year or longer. So get after it now. My opinion. Nico, URAH from Okinawa. Man, I miss Okinawa. Have a Georgia coffee for me, please. James says you might have to go into another branch. I've seen many Marines do that as well. I had a great platoon, the best platoon sergeant I've ever worked with. This dude was awesome. Couldn't reenlist back into the Marine Corps, went into the Army, finished it, ended up doing 30 years in the Army, MPs, then he went for corrections. He still works in corrections today. So I don't know if I could put on an Army uniform or any other uniform now, but to get to your retirement, yes, I highly recommend it. Do it. All my boys regret getting out, I'm guessing, Adam. Sonny's Chief says, what is an honorable discharge but an RE4 reenlistment? So recruiters, help me out here. When you get out, you get an RE code, a reenlistment code. I don't know if that's what RE stands for, but you get an RE code. And some codes are cannot reenlist. So RE4, is that a non-reenlistment? Recruiters, help me out. I was a drill instructor, not a recruiter, but you have to have the correct RE code to get back in the Marine Corps. Lowen says, I've got good news and I got bad news. Oh, good, Q. He says, good to go. Thank you. I'm still eligible for the Marine Corps. Might as well stay. Won't regret it. No regrets. Stay. To 20 years at least. How you doing, Noah? Good to see you. I've been out for about 4 years now and try to get back in. And only way I can do is if I do a 3-year contract with the Army. If I'm going for Rangers, I'm going to try to get back in. Go for it, Noah. We got you. We'll be praying for you. Absolutely. Serve. Continue to serve. Jake says, I have to wait until I am 20 or late 20s to join. Still do it, Jake. We're with you. Stay with us. We'll be tracking you the whole entire time. Go for it, brother. We are with you. Ben Dragon, good to see you, brother. RE3 is eligible for reenlistment. RE4 is non-eligible. But the government can do anything. There's that waiver. Thanks, Ben Dragon. Good to see you as well. RE3 is the good one. RE4, not good. So you must, I'm guessing you got out early for some kind of UCMJ violation or some reason. You have an RE4 code that they don't want you to reenlist. But anything's possible. Chicken is here. Abra. Good to see you too, Noah. Jake, yes. RE4 is a waiver to reenlist to another service. All right. So RE4 means you can't reenlist in the Marine Corps, but you can reenlist in another service. All right. Thanks. See, I'm telling you, together we have all the answers. Me, clearly I don't. You can ask my producer. I don't know all the answers. But when we talk about it in this community, truly amazing. Truly amazing. All right. Brown Superman, MCRD San Diego, Bravo Company, platoon 1077 graduation, 31596, Sergeant Llewellyn, Sergeant Peregrine, Sergeant Gibson, and SDI staff, Sergeant Cece. Actually, I was a sergeant at that time. Brown Superman, good to see you, brother. Where were you? Got the squad leader? Good to see you. And what are you doing now, brother? Thanks for joining us. Great to see you. Thanks for bringing me back. It was a couple years ago. I would say I had more hair back then, but I didn't. How you doing, Brown? Brown Superman. Good to see you. Let us know what you're doing now. Let us know where you're at, where the Marine Corps took you, and if I taught you anything. What age? Here's another one. At what age is it too late to enlist? Great question. The Marine Corps is 17 to 26, 28 is the age limits, but we talk about it all the time. Everything is waiverable. We just talked about on Sunday a 34, was he 34 or 36? 36-year-old Marine graduated boot camp. Said he tried for 17 years, or not tried, but inspired to be a Marine for 17 years. So I'm guessing from high school, 17 years later, do the math. That's how long he tried or wanted to be a Marine. Went to boot camp at, I can't remember, it's 34 or 36, but he did it, graduated. So proven that there's a waiver for everything because the age limit is 28. Told you when I was a drill instructor, I had a 31-year-old recruit. So technically, officially, the age is 28, but everything's waiverable. Go for it. Go for it. How bad do you want it? Noah says, that's true. I have an RE4. That's why I'm going to, and it just disappeared. Army, I'm guessing. Miguel Moreno, good evening to you as well. Era, thanks for being here. What's not waiverable, Hiram? So now you can put in a waiver and it can get denied. Absolutely. That happens as well. In fact, I have a great family friend. He was trying like heck to be a Marine. Awesome. Stud. He had a medical issue that he tried to get waived and go into the Marine Corps. They wouldn't take him. Or it just took a lot longer. He got impatient and joined the Army. But actually, that one, his waiver did go through. So are there waivers that get denied? Yes. Unfortunately, yes. And maybe, I don't know, for the right reasons. You never know. You might have some weird waiver that shouldn't get approved. So everything is waiverable Worthy? What am I looking for? Try it. Try it. Before you just accept the answer no, ask again. Ask again. Waiver. Do some research, some homework, and back it up. This is why I want a tattoo waiver, because it's 1/64th of an inch too far. Something like that. And the only one denied because Hiram, we're following up on Hiram. I am the only one denied because of the school that I attended. Entire military took their side. Not catching the whole story there, but it sounds like you requested it. You're the one requesting a waiver. The only one denied because of the school I attended. Entire military took their side. So again, sorry to hear him if that was you and you were requesting a waiver and it got denied. So yes, I do say that a lot. Everything's waiverable, and I believe that, but sometimes unfortunately they do get turned down. Carl says, if it's a general or less than honorable, there's no chance of rejoining. Yes, if you get anything other than an honorable discharge or a general under honorable conditions, you're going to have problems. Adam says, try and try again. I'm telling you, even my own daughters, it took a while. It took a while for that, and that was a ridiculous one. And I've seen a couple of tattoo waiver requests that were, again, pretty ridiculous. That they first answer was no. So don't just take no for an answer. Again, there may be times, again, in Hiram's case, whatever the full story is. So that just try. Don't give up. Never quit or give up. Go for it. Adam says, I want one of those mugs. I didn't see it on the, so it's not, this mug is not on the site. And again, full disclosure, this was a blank mug. It said something else on it, and I put the sticker over it. So we're looking to find a similar cup, because I do like it. It's tin, keeps the coffee warmer longer. It's not a Yeti. I don't like the lids. Even on my Yeti here, I don't use the lid because I used it earlier and I spilled on myself. So this will be in our shop soon. Again, we're still traveling. That's why family farms, when we talk about you in a minute too, that's why we haven't ordered just yet, because we're still on the go. So once we're stationary, I'm going to get me some bacon wrapped chicken. You know that's a fact. So the mug is not on there yet. We do have the keychains, lanyards, wrist lanyards, and the stickers, which will, you know I'm going to talk about these babies. All right, same as my shirt. We'll talk about those soon. But appreciate it. I do like this mug. It is a good quality mug. It's tin. It's bigger than a cup. I like that as well. It's about almost 2 cups, cup and a half for coffee. All right. Skylar T says, I'm back. If you want to give me a rundown on their questions. Noah says, that's not true. I have an OTH with an RE4 and the Army will take me. Thinking again, you know, I love the Army, but they have different rules on who they can take. Quantity, right? That's why they're 500,000 or 600,000 to the Marine Corps 200,000, and they weed out those good ones after they're in, and they got some tough, badass soldiers that way. But it takes a lot of money. Marine Corps just doesn't have that money. Recruiting numbers are down in the Army and Navy. Those are your best options right now. They haven't met their recruiting goal. So, and that's another thing the Marine Corps has in their back pocket. They're meeting their recruiting goals every year. So they don't have to dig into the RE4s or prior service. They're meeting their goals. So I'm telling you, it's a tough time right now for the reenlistment after you've gotten out. Army won't do, say, Major General, gentle, ever. Stuff that is not a felony. Yes, no felonies. Yes, at Mark, please repeat your question. Mark, I'll look for it this time. Sorry about that if I missed it. Noah says, I'm only going into the Army to get back in the Marines. It's going to be a long process, but I believe it's worth it to me. It's worth it to all of us. Noah, go for it. Again, we got you. Keep us in the loop. And if anybody can help you in any way, shape, or form, this is the community that can help you. And look who's here. Reveille, Big O. Good to see you, brother. Wish you were here instead of me. Wish you were here with us. That's what's going on over here. You hear that? My dog, he knows. Mattis knows what kind of show this is over here. Good to see you, Brian. Thanks for joining us, brother. Skylar, I'm throwing up my Insta if anyone has recruiting questions. Put the recruiting questions on here. I haven't seen Mark's question yet. Mark, you still with us? Put your question back up there. Brown Superman graduated as private Galvan. First duty station in Quantico, working in support of Brigadier General Holcomb. Wow, nice. Orders Camp Pendleton, HNS, 11th Marines. Tour, your arty guy. Now in a mortgage loan officer in SoCal. Good to hear, Brown Superman. Good to hear, Galvan. Good job, brother. Again, thanks for joining us. Thanks for bringing us all back. Thanks for bringing me back. Great memories. Great platoon, by the way. Sergeant Llewellyn was awesome. Sergeant Gibson was new. He was still learning, but as was I. But Sergeant Llewellyn, can you guys hear my dog back there? Hey, really? You got to do that right now? He wants attention. He's like a teenage boy. Just wants attention. Good on you, Galvan. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Glad to hear you're doing well. Mortgage industry, SoCal, making some good money, I hope, because houses are expensive over there. John McJunkin, good evening, brother. Just you and your audiovisual crew are at and IT are well. Yes, but my dog is not. That's bad dog Mattis. Come on, Mattis, come here. Of all the toys he had to pick, stop it. Carl Green, look at John McJunkin. Somebody to finally put up my Instagram. Put Skylar T. Appreciate the offer, but let's let them ask some questions and see where they're at. And then you have a YouTube channel, Skylar. Doggy and kitties are not animals, they're people too. Yes, they are. I'm telling you, he's like a teenage boy. Just wants my attention. He's jealous of all of you because I'm paying attention to you and not him. Come here. We'll see if he comes back. Jared says, I don't know if it's the same DI, but one of my DIs in 91 was Sergeant Llewellyn. So, funny you say that because there was 2 Sergeant Llewellyns when I was down there. 91, I was there 94. It may have been because we were his last platoon. 91, 2, 3, 4. Could have been. Tall, skinny, dark green. Great cadence. God, man, I learned a lot from him. He didn't make it our whole cycle. That's a completely different story. But a great Marine, great drill instructor. Learned a lot from him. Really liked working with him. Wish we could have finished the cycle together. There's one point in that platoon, Galvan, if you remember. At one point, there was just 3 DIs. The senior drill instructor, who was on his last cycle as well, me and, was it Sergeant Gibson? And then they finally brought us another one. There's just 3 of us, and 2 of us were brand new. Mattis, come here. That's on Crawford. No, Sergeant Llewellyn was tall, skinny, white. Yep. So I'm telling you, there was 2 Llewellyns down there at the same time. And I think you're even spelling it right. Both of them spelled the same exact way. It's confusing, except one was a light green, one was a dark green. Era. Miguel says, I remember it took me 2 years to get into the Marines. Dropped out of high school and got in with 15 college units. Received my GED 2018. So right now the Marines aren't taking GEDs either. Or maybe they are. Again, recruiters, help me out. But they go through periods where they need GEDs or they're not. Hey, come here. Come. Man, let's come. Man, see how he is? 3rd Battalion, Insane, India, 1985. Hammer. Tall, skinny, dark green. I'm confused. Yes, Carl, right? Is that offensive? That's exactly what it is. That's how we describe people. Nothing offensive about it. Relax, everyone. How about Sergeant Rosado? He was my other DI, short Latin DI. Nope. Sergeant Llewellyn was dark green in our platoon. Yep. Galvan. Carl, if you know, you know. Why they take under ejected? I don't know what that means. Carl, I got you, Carl. I'm with you. If you know, you know. So someone else said. Moreno says, now I'm in a police academy chasing a new dream, which oddly enough took me 2 years when they had separated the Marines to get into. So timing is everything. And that's what God put you in the places you need to be at the time you need to be them. Ever. So keep after it, Miguel. Go for it. One color on the core. Ever. We're all green. Ever. Hammer. Mighty Sparrow. John McJunkin. Your thoughts on the separation bonus pay that the IRS is now demanding back from all service members whom they mistakenly supposedly overpaid. Some bonuses are as much as $30,000. Well, first of all, if they made a mistake, that's their fault. They shouldn't take anything back. But I think SEP's pay is huge, and I think it's necessary, and the Marine earned it. So I don't know the details of what you're talking about, but they definitely shouldn't take it back. Again, they made the mistake, and it is separations pay. Now, if they overpaid you $1 million and it was a complete error, sure. But why are they taking it back? Why do they say it's a mistake? And definitely the government doesn't need it. That Marine needs it. Irish can go kick rocks for that, right? I'm with Anderson Ho. Irish can go kick rocks. That's their error, their fault. If IRS gives you that much money, you better spend it. Man, did you ever do the helicopter insertion drills? That's when I did drop this in. Big Blue 3 miles offshore. Carl, yes. So in McQuist, we did it. And when I went to Texas, San Antonio for aircrew, when I was at the air station as the station sergeant major, I wanted to be part of it. They challenged me to be part of the air crew. So I don't know if they didn't drop us in the ocean. That one was for pilots. That was pretty easy, actually. We're lowering you. They kind of told you everything. And when you're flying, especially air crew, you don't have all your gear on. So the infantry helo dunk tanker was way harder. And the blackout goggles, it was nighttime. They dumped you, flipped you, and it was chaos. The one for the air crew is pretty easy, actually. It was an Air Force school. But I did like it. I love water. I love everything about water. I liked McQuist. Although it was the very hardest school I've ever been to, it was a good time. We had to swim back to shore. So, Carl, with ours, maybe it's the same thing, but we had to swim out there. They didn't drop us off. The final test of McQuist, they had to swim out about a mile in the ocean at night in the winter in California. And we had a vest on. That was it. And UDT shorts. Remember those UDT shorts? Good God, those are the worst shorts ever. Recon loved them for some reason. We even had to rip the back pocket off. So we couldn't, because here's what they had us do. Swim out and find the diver out there. He was holding a chem light in those waves. It was at night. It was cold, freezing, huddled together. They blew the whistle, took off. You had to find the diver and then tap him and swim back. But when you found him, they said, all right, swim to the bottom and get a handful of sand. As soon as you show me some sand, you can go back. Again, it's at night. You're freezing and a little nervous because you can't see anything. And there's sharks out there, and you don't know how far the bottom is. So you're swimming, and you got to save enough air to get back up. And you can't even push off the ground because you haven't even hit there yet. So the trick was nobody makes it to the bottom. And we didn't find that out till everyone failed the first night. The next night, we had to do it all over again. And the trick is to grab sand from the shore when you go to swim out there. But now you're swimming like this. So it's harder to swim, and you just hope and pray by the time you get there, you show the instructor and there's still a little bit of sand in there. And then you fly back or swim very fast back. So maybe something similar, Carl. New World Porto says, what do you think about Marines ranking up slower than the other branches. So first, a pet peeve of mine is it's like calling it getting promoted. I don't like the term ranking up. So do the Marines get promoted slower than the other branches of service? Yes, I think collectively overall, I've never looked at any data. I don't know what the actual numbers are, but it certainly seems like it's a lot harder to get promoted in the Marine Corps than any other branch of service. And here's why. And I'm okay with that. And here's why. A lot more responsibility on an E3 in the Marine Corps than an E3 in any other branch of service. A lot more responsibility for an E5 in the Marine Corps than any other branch of service. And I've told a couple different stories where I was told by an Army colonel he wanted a staff sergeant to monitor the door at the chow hall on a field operation. I said, ain't no way in hell I'm going to give you a staff sergeant for that. I was going to give him a PSC. I think I ended up folding and gave him a lance corporal. That's an E3, E2, E3 responsibility. He said, no, it's not. It's an E6 responsibility. They got to count how many people come in the troops. Come on. So do Marines get promoted slower? Again, without looking at data, I think so. But the responsibility, I'm in combat. I've had some squad leaders that were corporals, E4, badass squad leaders too, as an E4, team leaders, E3s. All depends on the situation, but their level of responsibility of the Marines are higher than the other branch of the service, in my opinion. And it's what I've seen. So that's why. So what are my thoughts on it? When that Marine is ready to be a corporal, he will good and goddamn be ready. Ebra. Hammer, if you're talking to me, Ebra. Answer. Definitely more difficult to get promoted in the active reserve community when the allocations each quarter, let alone FY, are very few. So we talked about that too when I talked about the promotion system. I did a short on promotion system. I think the Marines have the best. I don't think it's perfect, but I think it's very, very good. And it is one of the best our promotion system. Are there times where good Marines don't get promoted? Unfortunately, yes. Are there times when not so good Marines do get promoted? Unfortunately, yes. That's just going to happen. But I think overall, our process up to E5 is solid. Excuse me. Then our staff NCO ranks. I heard they don't put the photo up anymore, but they scan your entire book from boot camp all the way to the day you're eligible for staff sergeant, and then they brief it to a board of staff NCOs, senior staff NCOs, and they decide if you're ready. They don't know you. They shouldn't brief you if they know you. Different story, but they're looking at everything you've done that's in your record book. So a couple of things there. What have you done as a Marine? And the other side of it, I really wanted to be a first sergeant. Everyone kept telling me, make sure your book is perfect, your service record book. So I did. I started working on it as a gunny because I wasn't sure yet. And sure enough, there was a lot of mistakes in my service record book. So the point is, how could you be a good first sergeant when you do administrative duties and your stuff is not even correct? So great learning lesson for me for all of you, especially those you still in active duty right now, getting ready to go in. Make sure and now it's MOL, and your record book. All your records are absolutely correct. And when I called Quantico one time, I asked the lady, I said, I noticed I'm missing a CERTCOM that I got way back. I was like a Lance Corporal or something. Should I put that in? She said, son, you need to put everything in there from when you were private until now. If you helped out at the Red Cross one time, you did anything and everything that you've received, make sure it's in your SRB or now, again, MOL. Make sure it's all in there in a squared away. Ebra. I don't remember what that question was. I see that comment up there, needs of the Marine Corps from James Ziga. 100%. Back to promotions, the needs of the Corps, both spaces, numbers. Again, I used to feel bad for my 41s when I was in. A lot of times the 41s, 03 41s, the Mortarmans had the slowest promotion ever. Man, then at one time I had a whole bunch of corporals just couldn't get the cutting score for sergeants. And I got to think, man, it's got to catch up sooner or later. They got to start moving these guys. So again, it's not perfect. but I think it is. I think it is very good. Tough. It's tough. It can be tough. I told you I was a sergeant for 5.5 years. Loved every minute of it, though. All veterans need to always keep track of your stuff. John McJunkin, it disappeared. I think that's a fact. Keep track of all your records, everything you do. Excuse me, medical and dental also. Keep up with your medical record. Don't be that tough guy to not go to medical because you don't want to wait in line. You don't want anybody to see you at medical. I'm too tough for medical. Doc, come here, get rid of this pain. You're going to need that information later. That's proof that you did have a back problem, a neck problem, that you did have to go to sick bay. It did affect what you're doing on active duty, and definitely affects you now after. So go to medical if you have an ailment. Take the time. Anderson says, for your volunteer work, I recommend creating a I Love Me binder. Awesome, Anderson. Yes. Where you retain all your letters of recommendations and thank you letters from organizations, dates. I remember the first time I learned about the volunteer service ribbon. Had no idea. I've been coaching soccer for 8 or 10 years. One of the parents asked me, how long you been coaching? I said, I don't know, 5, 6 years, 10 years, whatever. He said, oh, good. So you should have the volunteer service ribbon. I was like, what is that? I didn't know. I think I was a sergeant or staff sergeant. He said, yeah, 3 years, unless it changed, 3 years consecutively of volunteer service. 3 years consecutive. So I coached, again, 5 or 6 years. It's just, it could be one day for 3 years. Just one day a year for 3 years, 3 consecutive years. Somebody who already has somebody senior to you that already has the volunteer service ribbon can be the one to write you up. So I went and saw my company gunny and said, look, I've been coaching for this long. Look at MCCS. Here's my proof of it. I've been coaching forever. Everybody knows I've been coaching. Sure enough, you wrote me up. I received the volunteer service ribbon. So check into it. If you're doing the volunteer work, keep track of it and make that I Love Me book, Anderson. That's awesome. Not just for that purpose, but for your service record book, for MOL, for promotions, Young Marines, for meritorious promotion, this many hours of community service. I got 18 letters of LOIs, letters of commendation, whatever it is, for volunteer service. That's huge for meritorious promotion. Definitely helps with everything you do, and it's good for the community. So Adam says it depends on the commander, but it is something like that, or 300 to 500 hours. Never knew about the hours tied into the volunteer service, because someone told me at the time, yeah, Marines that work the Special Olympics, just one day a year, but they do it year after year, 3 consecutive years. Is it even consecutive or just 3 years? Either way. So Anderson Ho says, correct on 3 years. I had all my binders and presented to the battalion adjutant and wrote, submitted, and I got it before I PCS from New Orleans. There you go. Volunteer service ribbon. James says, very easy write-up as long as you have your LOI. You just have to show proof that you have volunteered for 3 years. That's it. So get those, the letter recommendation, LOI, or something saying that. And I used to volunteer with the Red Cross too on anything that they would do when they'd ask for volunteers. I could have used that as well. And you can get multiple volunteer service ribbons. The next 3 years, you're still working the Special Olympics. That's 3 more. That's a start. All right, the best part is that you did it because you wanted to. With no, I didn't qualify for some accommodation. That's how Marines operate. I'm telling you, Hammer, I had been coaching forever before I even knew about it. But I definitely did get it out there so people would know, right? I want to make sure that people knew about it for their hard work, for their volunteer service. It was good. All right, great topics already. So talk about our stickers, merch. Guys, please bear with us on the merch. Again, it's still summer, still break. We're still traveling. You see me and Mattis are home alone. I haven't screwed anything up yet, I think, with audio or visual yet. I haven't got my butt chewed by the producer, so I think I'm nailing it so far. It's not over. Knock on wood. Here's our merch. So what we do have in the merch, and that's sfmfmerch.myshopify.com. sfmfmerch.myshopify.com. That's how you get our merch. And right now we have the stickers, which this is the producer's favorite. Here's something I'll tell you. Don't tell her that I didn't notice this at first, but I was checking this out on my shirt, and that's the American flag on there. I see it on the shirt. American flag right there. Hurrah. But no, ma'am, military age males. None. Why? Why is our current administration letting hundreds of thousands of military age males into our country? Another favorite. Hurrah. This is a SART. I got another comment the other day. I'm in the Army. We pronounce it sergeant. What is SART? I think I've heard a lot of Army guys say SART. I think a lot of people in general say first sergeant, sergeant major, master sergeant. It's a time thing. It's not an incorrect enunciation. This one's cool too, like this one. Hurrah. This is a huge, great quality one right here, SFMF. I like the flashy. Here's our old school one, cassette tape, C-130 rolling down the strip, all the good cadence callers out there. Hurrah. That's what else Sergeant Llewellyn had. He had the loudest cadence. And he's like, he was never tired, man. How did he do that? I was so tired trying to keep up with him. And a one-of-a-kind lanyard. I keep talking about how I use it every day. And look, that's a rack of keys on there. It's not what's that guy's name from One Day at a Time, bringing it back. The janitor had like 100 keys on there. It's nothing like that, but it's a lot of keys all day, every day, always playing with it, always whipping around. I'm always moving, always doing something. And I haven't had to do a thing to the lanyard. 100% American made by an American veteran, a Marine, Sergeant Cece. American products made by a veteran. Even the ring is American made. 100% B52 alloy steel. I just made all that up. I don't know what it's made out of, but it is made in America. So is the 550 cord, the dummy cord, the paracord, whatever you call it. And it's camouflage. Awesome piece of gear. All that is on my Shopify right now. A lot of you took advantage of the 4th of July, no shipping, free shipping. That was great. Appreciate you guys. You should be receiving it very soon. I just shipped out the last couple lanyards here recently. All of it is available. SFMFmerch.myshopify.com. Get it while it's hot. Shirts will be back soon. I promise you. Shirts will be back soon. Once we're all back in the same studio all over again, we'll get hot. All right. Here's one. Jake has a question for the recruiters out there. Oh, I already got the answer. Do I need a driver's license to get into the military? The answer is no. In fact, I didn't have a driver's license when I joined. I did, but it was revoked. You can have your Army cookies and your Navy blues. Here's a different fighting man I'll introduce to you. Hammer. That's an old one. That's an old one. Thanks for bringing it back. Love that one. And I heard it in boot camp from my drone instructors. I hadn't heard that one. Not too many people here sing it now. Again, not a whole lot of cadence calling like that in the fleet. Infantry does because they do a lot of hiking. So it's better to be on a hike with it. Well, good one, Hammer. Thanks for bringing that back. Anderson Ho also. Nope, Jake. He only had a state ID. Guam, Stacker. Didn't. All right. So no. Great question, and thanks for answering, everyone. Peyton Yates says, Sergeant Major, ship in a year. What's the best thing to do to prepare for Paris Island? Love those questions. Peyton, first of all, stay on the channel. Hope you're subscribed because we're going to help you prepare 100%. You're going to go into boot camp way more prepared than everyone else if you stay right here on this channel. So physical fitness is what I always say to everyone first and foremost. If you're physically fit before you go, that's one less thing you got to worry about. You need to worry about. You don't want to be the one falling out of runs. You'll get special attention from the drill instructors. You don't want to be overweight or underweight. So make sure you're physically fit and then mentally tough. So watch the videos, stay on the channel, watch the comments that come on here, see what we talk about on here, because it is culture shock. You're going to get screamed at, not screamed, you're going to get yelled at, all for the right reason. Everything they do in boot camp is for a purpose, right? When you're sitting in the classroom, they call it, in front of the drill instructors and they're teaching you something, you're sitting left over right, right over left, Indian style, if we can still say that. It's for a reason, because 6 weeks later, you're sitting on the rifle range, snapping barrel in that position. That's a shooting position. So everything you do in boot camp is for a reason. So when you're doing it, you hate it, doesn't seem like it, but you are. It's for a purpose. So physically fit and then mentally tough. And then since you have a year, knowledge, because you do take a written test and an oral test in boot camp about Marine Corps history, birthday, battles, Medal of Honor recipients, general orders, code of conduct. You have to know your knowledge as well. Marines are fanatical. About what? About being Marines. We take our history serious, and you must know it. Rank structure, right? I remember I had a hard time with that. Private, E1, no rank insignia. Private first class, E2, one stripe. You have to know the difference. Officers, the same way. So the more you know before you go, the better. Stay with us on this channel. Great question, and congratulations for making the right call. Hammer says, listen and do everything they say in the fastest way you can. Hammer, you're killing it tonight. Sound off and move fast. That's right there in a nutshell. If you do that in boot camp, you will succeed. Sound off as loud as you can and move as fast as you can. And never quit or give up on anything that they do. It's going to be tough. You're going to be culture shock. You're going to be homesick. Right? You're going to be in pain. Know the difference between pain and injury. Right? That's a big one too. You're going to be in pain. You're going to do some stuff that you never done before. You're going to work some muscles that you never worked before. And it's going to hurt. And you're going to be in pain. Pain is what? Come on, you see all the recruiters' t-shirts? Pain is weakness leaving the body. Get it out of your system. Injury is different. If you're injured, you better tell someone. You want to get fixed so it doesn't get worse and you don't get dropped. So pain and injury, know the difference. Adam, right there, they tell you what to do. Just do it. Pretty much that simple. When you're marching, when they say left, your left foot strikes the deck. Pretty basic. Instant willing obedience to orders. Becca Rocks, that's a good one. Also help your fellow recruits when they're having trouble. It's a team effort, because the drill instructors believe in mass punishment. So one or two recruits are screwing up, you're all going to pay for it, because it is a team. No more. That's why you don't say I and me. This recruit. You take I and me out of your vocabulary, because it is a team effort. And trust me, that shared misery for 3 months, you're going to make some best friends for life. And that's why it's shared misery. And you want everybody to be on the same page. You're only strong as your weakest link. So get everybody up to speed. Good one. Fastest way to leave MCRD? Graduation. I did a short on that too a while ago, Anderson. I think it was something like, you want to extend your stay at beautiful MCRD, San Diego or Paris Island? Get in trouble, get injured, do something wrong. That's how you extend your stay. Don't do it. Do everything you need to do when you need to do it. Okay, you could be one of them leaders out in the front, guided squad leaders, or you might just be one that does everything they're supposed to do when they're supposed to do it, as loud and as fast as they can, and you're not going to get singled out. You're going to graduate. You're going to be a Marine. I was in boot camp for 4 months due to getting hurt. Strong mind. That's got to be tough. Those recruits that get dropped, and any of you on here that spent more than 3 months due to injury, man, good on you. Okay, I'm telling you, I look back now and think I could have done it easy, but man, that took some mental strength to stay at MCRD, either one of them, longer than 3 months. We haven't seen Goldman in a while, but he was a 11-month, 29-day recruit. I got him. I got him at the very end. He had went to boot camp overweight, PCP, pork chop platoon, lost his weight. Excuse me. Finally lost his weight. Went to a training company, broken ankle, MRP, medical rehab platoon. Healed. Went back to training, broke the other ankle. Back to training, healed. Went back to training, and then I got him. That's like 10 months later. He was the grand old man of MCRD. He was good. He knew a lot of things. I tried to make him my guide. He wasn't guide material, but he was intelligent. And it was my first cycle as a senior. So he helped me out a lot. The other drill instructors hated him because he would tell me, he knew the SOP. He knew everything about recruit training. Sir, you're going to have to turn in names for church tomorrow. I know that, stupid. Don't tell me what I'm like, oh, crap. I got to turn this in. Good dude. He had been on here before. Hopefully he comes back. Goldman. Awesome. Big Ev, good to see you, brother. If you get hurt in boot camp, man, I missed it. I looked up too late. Hammer, instant willing obedience to order right there, discipline. Jeremy, sorry, phone died. Update, 15th Marine Expeditionary, 9701. I was on the 31st mule. 15th, that's the East Coast. I always want to do an East Coast mule. If you get hurt in boot camp, damn it, the comments are coming too fast. Say it again. If you get hurt in boot camp, suck it up. I've seen recruits chase planes. That's funny to watch too. I might have sent a recruit or two chasing one of the planes that they were looking at when they should have been paying attention to what we were doing. You want that plane? Go get it, sir. Go get it. That is pretty funny. What we did in boot camp always, we had to blow the plane out of the sky. When we're out in the PT field and it's so loud, the drill instructor can't talk over the plane. So anytime a plane came by, he said, blow that plane out of the sky. Ah, we'd all scream as it went by. I hated it. And I did a couple of those, pretended until I got caught doing it. So yell at the plane. Do what the drill instructor tells you to do. Dude, what are the actual chances of becoming an embassy guard? 100%. Everyone has the same chance. You can. I mean, Marines got to be there. Marines got to protect the guards. So you're squared away. Right? Do everything you're supposed to do. Be squared away. Put in for it. Dependence is the reason I never did it. I always had one too many dependents, so I just didn't time it right. But that is something. One of my regrets. I wanted to be in embassy duty, on embassy duty. Jeremy nailed it right there too. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's today's society. Right now, they're not. Today's youth is not comfortable being uncomfortable. Something's hard. They don't like it. They want to quit, and their parents allow them to quit. Never quit or give up. Quitting is not acceptable. It never has been. But somehow, some way, over time, over decades, different breed of kids right now. So get comfortable being uncomfortable. 100%. Hammer says embassy duty is a B billet that you volunteer for, then you go to school, then they send you out. Pretty much that easy, but you have to qualify for the B billet. And then you have to pass the school. Embassy, I've never been, but they say the toughest part of embassy duty school is the peer evals. I've heard people get dropped out from peer evals. Interesting to me. Air cannot put in for embassy duty. Active reserve cannot. Air can only do the drill field or become a PSR. Remember what PSR is. Funny thing is, boot camp was the least. So funny, Jared, that you mentioned that, because once you leave boot camp, you're like, it was easy. Did boot camp get easier? No, you just got stronger. You got smarter. You got used to the game. You got, again, that teamwork, everything helped out. Boot camp doesn't get easier. You get better, you get stronger, you get faster. All those things start clicking and you figure it out. Right? That's how I thought. I got tired of being yelled at, so I'm just going to yell louder. I'm going to move faster. I'm going to do everything in my power to not get yelled at. So I'm going to learn everything I need to learn. So it does. Boot camp doesn't get easier. And in fact, they turn it up. The training gets harder. The runs get faster. Everything's a little more. But you're just getting that much better. Prior service recruiter. Thanks, Anderson. Yeah, PSR. I even talked about that earlier. Thought it was something else you were talking about. So if I go as a cook, I can go embassy? Yes. Every MOS does B billets. Good question, though. Whatever your MOS is. In fact, a lot of drill instructors are cooks. One of the Marine I went to school with, he was a staff sergeant, so he got a black belt before me. I was mad at him. He was a cook, a great food service specialist. So any MOS can do those B billets. Embassy, recruiting, drill instructors, that's where they get those Marines from. Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal. Yes, that's the MOVSM is the correct name for that service medal. What do you have? Are you saying, what if you have a sergeant major that likes to run and runs far and fast? I like to run. Not that fast, but yes, run. Those you getting ready for boot camp, run. You know, and in boot camp, really, I tell this as a drill instructor, your run time kind of goes down. You only run 3 miles twice, the initial PFT and the final PFT. All the other runs are a mile and a half, 2 miles. You run into the PT field. You're doing a lot of running, but you're not just doing a straight 3 mile run. You're not working on. So as a drill instructor, you have to find, there ain't no time, but you got to find time to PT on your own. I lost some muscle weight when I was a drill instructor. And you're always moving. You don't have to sit down. You don't have a lot of time to eat, and you are always moving. So you got to find time to work out on your own. Boot camp makes everything seem easier because you've already made it past the hard part. Absolutely. I'm telling you, you're getting better. A friend that was a cook and was convoy commander in Iraq, solid Marine. Dang, rifleman first. Every Marine is a rifleman. I agree. MCT was far more physically demanding. MCT, hiking the mountains. As a cook, a convoy commander, right place, right time. He probably went on an IA billet. Marines, Iraq. MGPEF, Marine Guard person enlisted for. Is that what it's called now? 0311, that does schooling and then goes MSG. Chicken has risen. Nobody joins the Corps to cook and or drive 5 tons. 03 or nothing at all. Chicken. Every Marine a rifleman. Cardio, says Carl Green. 100%. Again, can't stress the physical fitness enough. You don't want to be that recruit that falls out. Get in shape prior to going. A lot of athletes in high school are the successful ones. Football, obviously, any athletic sport that you do in high school, just increase it before you go to boot camp. Just high school football practice is not going to be enough for you. You're going to be ahead of everyone else that doesn't PT, but don't go over there not being able to do at least 3 miles in a decent pace. A good PFT time, 19 minutes. 18 is great. 20 minutes, 7-minute miles, 3 of them, 21, right? You just don't want to fail the IST, which is a mile and a half. I don't know what the time is now, but definitely don't want to fail the PFT. And that's all by age different, like 28 minutes or something. There's enough time. So you want to be in great shape before you go. You're just going to get in better shape while you're there. It's awesome. Blaze, 1371, combat engineer. Hammer, 3 miles, 17 minutes, 42 seconds. Man, Hammer, I never got that 18-minute 3 miles. 1830, 2 times in my career. Never got the 300. Boot camp, 1830. DI school, 1830. The boot camp one was a drill instructor's fault. It was fault. It wasn't even, he wasn't even from our company. He said, any recruit want to do a 18-minute mile, 3 miles, stick with me. Stuck with them the whole way. Sucker. Last minute, I heard 18-minute. I was 30 seconds away, obviously. Could have got it. That was my best chance in boot camp. DI school again, 1830. Best 3 miles of 1810, Benjamin. I'm with you. Never got that 3. Always max the pull-ups, always max the crunches. and I think I could max the plank with what it is now, but that 18-minute 3 miles still upsets me. Never got 20 pull-ups because I never learned to kip. Always got 19. So hammer, the same. I love the kip too. I could do many more than 20 with the kip, but when they stopped it, then I had to work on it. Then I got 21 because obviously one for the core. You can be the best athlete in school, but that won't guarantee the title if you lack, you know what kind of fortitude. Reach down and grab a hold. Yes, you have to have it. 23 pull-ups from Max now. Good. 20, I want to think 20 kind of started to become easy. I only got a perfect PAT once, says Jared. Well, that's one more than me. All right, good on you. Good on you, Jared. Awesome. PT, I'm telling you, we love those questions. We love those of you that are just getting ready to join. This is a place to be. Read the comments. Everyone here is here to help. All right, here's an MOS. Let me know if you've heard about this. This was General Berger, Commandant, prior to now. He talked about an MOS 0711, 0711, and that was information activities. I don't think it ever came to fruition, but what is that about? Information activities. What would those Marines be doing? Almost as off the wall as that advisor MOS that we're trying. You know what Steph and SEALs do already, what all leaders do, advise Marines on stuff, life, Marine Corps life, families. 0711, 0711 information activities. Again, has anybody heard about it? Anybody heard about that? Has it come up? General Berger, he thought he was going to be a great commandant. He was the MEF commander, 3 MEF commander in Hawaii while we were there. Did some great things as the 3 MEF. A little different story when he became commandant. And I understand the politics of it. You can't do all the things that you want to do. But that particular MOS, I know we're toying around even with the instant gunnies in the cybersecurity field. Again, we're trying to keep up with times and keep us mission critical. But it's the advisory boards. It's the advisory boards where they get their information from. That's the part that really, and I'm seeing it in the civilian community, right? Seeing it very, very current. It's who you get your advice from. What advisors are we using? We talked about the command team a while ago. It's the commander and the senior enlisted advisor. Call them something different in the civilian community too. But the advisor's got to be the right person that knows the community that you're talking about. If they have never done the things that they're advising on, that's the wrong advisor. Get someone who's been there and done that, has started at the bottom and worked their way up, who knows exactly what they're talking about, and then come up with a plan. So that's when these new policies come out like that, I always wonder who is in that working group. Who, when they come out with uniform changes, right? Relax grooming standards. One of our family, we share those things when we see it. And there was an Army girl, a soldier, sorry, at a Goodyear in camis. She had the longest ponytail all the way down her back in uniform. Again, if that's the Army standard and the new relaxed grooming standards, she was doing nothing wrong. But really, is that the image that we want to portray? Even being in camis out in town, don't get me started on that one. Was she even allowed to be in camis out in town? That's another rule that Marines follow. But do the other services. Again, the standards are just a little bit different. Oh, man. Again, we can talk all day on that. John says, Sergeant Major here to help you, guide you through your enlistment career. We're all here to help through all those things. That's why we're growing this community. That's what the beauty of this community right here. continue to help each other out. Leather chairs don't care much about the ground pounders. Jared. Skylar T says your individual scores on the ASVAB. Look up ASVAB calculator and it will explain. Talking about, yeah, what your MOS score does. Here's what I'll say about the ASVAB, those of you who haven't taken it yet. Study. I took it one day in high school just to get out of class. That's what the recruiter told me. He said, look, you can cut school. Legitimately, though, I'll get you out of class. You go come take the ASVAB. And again, no interest in the Marine Corps. Didn't know the difference between any of the services, but I was all about getting out of school legitimately, right? And he signed me out. Went and took the ASVAB, and I scored pretty well. I don't. The scoring system is so different now. I don't know what a good score is anymore, because I've seen some that get single digits. I'm like, holy cow! Like a good infantryman like Jared. Just kidding. But I scored like a 110 or 115, and the recruiter's like, oh wow, look at all these MOSs. You can pick one. You got it. And I later again enlisted as an 03. Later changed to 1371. But when I was going to re-enlist my first time, my career planner said, hey, retake the ASVAB, see if other jobs open up for you. So I did. But I studied this time. I studied just for like 2 weeks. And I highly increased my score. Because this time I put some effort into it. And it's a weird test. The ASVAB, those of you who've taken it, it's kind of weird and bounce all over the engineering part everyone talks about and the gears moving and which way. So it's a different type of test. I think in schools they take similar tests like that now. But there's so many study materials for the ASVAB. So for those of you who haven't taken it yet, or you have taken it, study and take it again. Here's what I just recently learned also, because my daughter took it, scored very well. But she's that competitor. She wanted to take it again and score even higher. She did take it again, studied, took it again, and didn't score as well as her first one. She was a little bummed out. But we found out that they take the highest score. But they only last for a certain amount of time too. If anybody knows how long they last, put that up there for everyone to see as well. I know you can, and I don't know. For what I remember, if you fail it, you have to wait like 2 weeks. You can take it again. Like the third time though, you have to wait like 6 months or something. So check in all that first before you even take it, but study. Point is, study for the ASVAB, do well. It's just going to open up that many more jobs for you. Then you can make that selection of your job that much better, right? You want as many options as possible. But remember this, you join the Marine Corps to be a Marine. Your job is secondary. Every Marine a ref from it. Can't remember my score, but it must have been in the 30s. I think so too, Jared. Right up there, 03. Congratulations, you made it. You and Joker. Anderson Ho, recommend, man, I missed it. Era Marine 0311, love the shirt. It will be on sale soon, brother. Thank you. That was a brick or rock. That's another Marine terminology, a rock. Dumb as a rock. I think I've heard it in the civilian community as well. One more of those DI things. We look like a sack of potatoes. Noah got a 78 and the recruiter was shocked. I wanted to be an 0331. So again, anyone know the max right now for what's passing or what's failing for the ASVAB and what's a high score you can get? Let's break it down like that. Hammer said, because the asthma test is not just an intellect test, it's also partially psychological test. It's a depth perception test. There are numerous elements built into it. You must be answering someone else's on there. Skylar T, minimum is 31. Thank you, Skylar. Minimum is 31. And way back when I was doing JROTC, I had a couple of single digit guys. So obviously they would make great infantrymen. They just got to get 31 or higher. So my daughters were like 80 something. Hers was when everyone told her, that's great. That's a great score. Don't retake it. Don't mess that score up. But come to find out she can still use that old one. 31 to 99, low to high. Thank you, Noah. Everybody take note of that. Are you getting ready for enlisting 31 to 99? Thanks, Noah. I just got a mechanic, but I easily could have been a garbage man. Hurrah. As long as you get a 31, it goes off your line scores. Needs of the Corps? 31 or higher. Okay, so we got it. 31 or higher. Awesome. Back in the day when I went to boot camp, within the first 48 hours that you were there, you retested. They retested you with the ASVAB. And that's the score they ultimately used to determine where you were placed. I did take it a second time, I think, at MEPS. First one I took in his office, I think, yeah, Hammer bringing me back. Took it in his office to get out of school. And then when I went to MEPS, I took it again. Nice, Big M. Marine swatted at a sand flea. They got to live too. Did he find out if it was male or female? Big M? Don't swat at the sand fleas. They got to eat too. Percentile, not really a score. All right, that's how they place you, by the percentile. Heard a Navy guy went to boot camp, ended up on the wrong boot camp. So Navy training and MCRD San Diego are right next to each other. They share a fence. And I've heard stories like that they went to the wrong place, or when Navy tried to leave their boot camp, they jumped the fence, ended up at MCRD. Uh-oh. I think they climbed right back over into Navy training. Chicken says, do they still qual with iron sights? Great question. Somebody just asked me, an old timer asked me, I don't even remember what we were talking about. He says, oh, are you an iron sights guy? Yes, I love the iron sights. And those of you that don't know, we're talking about qualifying on the rifle range. Iron sights, it's what's just a little iron hole and a iron post on the rifle itself. That's how we all qualified back in the day. Now they have scopes. RCO, it's one I think they issue to everyone. It's a scope they put on there, and Marines qualify with that now. Do they qualify with it in boot camp is the question. Great question. So he asked me, are you an iron sights guy? I said, I love the iron sights. All my weapons, my M4s and all the weapons I have, I keep iron sights on them because I'm an old school iron sights guy. But I tell you, that RCO is great. Having that in combat is great. It's quicker, right? The little arrow, and you can get on target a whole lot quicker, and you can just observe with it a lot better because it is a scope. So I'm both. I like to shoot with iron sights, but I'm not one of them. I'm never using a scope. I grew up with iron sights. Love the iron sights, but a scope helps for a lot of other different reasons. But I'm not one of those gear guys where I need this gigantic, you can't even see the rifle anymore because you got so much gear on your rifle. Whatever the Marine Corps issues me, that's what I'm using. But I like the scope. Iron sights till the day I die, but a scope is kind of cool. All right. Jared qualified with the musket. keep your powder dry. Right? Keep the powder dry. You gotta put that bullet and shove it down. Big puff of smoke comes out, clear, you see what you shot. Yes. No, that wasn't me. Ra, Carlos Diaz, good to see you. One of my platoon mates got a 99 on the ASVAB. Was told he could pick his MOS. He chose to be a military dog handler. Awesome. Right, good on him. Military working dog handler. Awesome. Another thing I want to do. I like the infantry. Would have loved to. I used to, the dog handlers we'd send our Marines out to get trained 6 months, man. They work with these dogs these dogs cost, anyone knows about the military working dogs, $80,000 to $100,000. And here's why I know. We lost one in combat. Wasn't killed. He didn't step on a bomb. He didn't get shot. I think he went after another dog, like a female dog. We don't know what happened to it, and that's why we were told many, many times how much it costs to train them dogs. So it wasn't a good reason why I know how much they cost. But great training, great dogs. Loved every one of them. course, I wanted to pet and play with all of them. You can't do any of that. They're working. They have a job to do. Awesome though. And the military working dog program is amazing. Always wanted to do it. Again, it didn't when I was a young Marine. We didn't have that in the system. Dangerous with the sling and stone. Funny, Jared, they use that. That's what the weapon of choice was in Somalia. Them kids were dead on with that sling and stone. Man, they can nail you from a long distance too. I don't know how they did it. ACOG, that's what it is. Yes, ACOG. What's the RCO? That's the RCO and the ACOG. RCO is the laser. ACOG, yes, Hammer. Thank you. But it's still a great system. Again, I think it works well, and I think in the fleet they definitely qualify with the ACOG. Just boot camp. Anyone knows? No one said it yet. Has someone said it? Did I miss it? Do they qualify with the ACOG and boot camp? If they don't, I think they should maybe qualify with the iron sights and then use the ACOG to learn how to use it. Right? That'd be great for MCT and SOI. If they go there already knowing how to use it, that'd be great. We spent a week. Okay. Spent a week dry firing iron sights. Okay, here we go. Oh, 50-gallon barrel. Yes, hot sun. Man, snap in. Who likes snap in? In boot camp, all it was another opportunity for the drill instructor to walk by and pick you out and thrash the crap out of you when you should be snapping in. But it gets old and it gets tiring and boring and you fake it all the time. But as a Marine later on, I figured out how very, very important snapping in was. Even with the pistol. And pistol, I learned a couple different ways, drawing a circle on the wall, and just so you can, because it's that much closer. But yes, the snap in barrels or not. The producer says, let's hear a story from Somalia. I'll tell you a story from Somalia. That was the dirtiest, filthiest, stinkiest, most dangerous place I've ever been. And here's why. It was chaos. Nobody knew who was in charge. You didn't know who your enemy was. Because 1 minute they're asking you for water, and then they get water from you. They go around the corner, and now they're shooting at you with M16s. They even had our same weapons. Thanks, government. Won't name any names, but some female in our government chain of command had whatever. So Somalia was chaos. And you've seen Black Hawk Down, most of you, I'm sure. It was just like that. They were all the Somali militias and pirates. They were all fighting to be in charge. So when America comes and we have all kinds of prizes and gifts and we brought all kinds of food, they would kill each other over the food that we were bringing for those in need. It was just chaos. Here's how much. I went as an engineer and we went on top of this like 7-story building. We were trying to secure the entire building to put supplies in so the government can hand it out to the people in need. Food. It was just food. So we built a fence all the way around it, and this was in asphalt, driving stakes. I mean, sweat. It took us all day. Built a triple strand concertina fence, like cattle wire. There's no way you can go in and out of it. One entrance point, sweating, full gear, trying to, and it was security all out. It was a massive job. Building wasn't that big, but it was a massive job. After we built that perimeter, then we're going to go to the top, like 7 stories, not that big, and then build a couple sandbag bunkers for lookouts for the security to look out. Great project. It was motivating. We're all about it. So we finished the project, put 2 Marines on post downstairs just to watch the wire while we took all of our supplies and sandbags, and we're going to still start building the bunkers. 7 stories, no elevators, of course. So we walked up the stairs. We hear some commotion. We got to the top. We're looking over the edge at what's going on. The people, Somalis, had destroyed all the fence. Something that took us 12, 14 hours to build. They destroyed it in about 5 minutes. Took all the wire, took the stakes, took the hammers, took everything for their own use. They built their own perimeter somewhere else. that's the kind of government that we were dealing with there. It was incredible. So we came right back down and left. We're like, okay, that's the kind of help you want from us. Those are the same people that were trying to get the food and supplies that we were trying to bring them. But there was just no one was in charge. Everyone wanted to be, and they had small militia groups everywhere. Dead people on the side of the road. You get the rock slings from the kids. Nobody knew what was going on. So we do security patrols everywhere. We started teaming up with, because Americans love their Geneva Convention and we follow all the ROEs of combat. Other countries don't do it so much. Anytime we left, we'd have to integrate in with the Italians, with some other forces, just to be safe leaving the wire. We're at the airport, Mogadishu airport, and just securing patrols. And that's as the flights would come in with all the food, we'd load vehicles, we'd integrate. And this was not hardback Humvees. We still had the canvas Humvees, and put some sandbags and just sit on top of it. And that's when the kids would come up. They try to take our stuff off the. It was bad. It was just chaos. It was the shortest combat deployment I did, but it was by far the worst. Again, smelled. There was dead bodies everywhere. They didn't bury. They didn't pull them. It was just chaos. And I'll leave you with this. On one of our patrols, walking through the streets, securing a lane for food delivery, a gentleman, early 20s, kept trying to come up and back away, because again, you can't trust anybody over there. You don't know who's who. But he persisted, and he's like, I have no weapons. And look, I just want to show you. He was showing pictures of the same city we were in, the same street we were in 4 years prior. He went to UCLA. He got some scholarship, and he was able to go to UCLA in America, college in America, got his degree, and came back home to this. And he was showing us pictures, and it was beautiful. Yeah, I mean, your typical city, but streets and roads and the same. He's lit that building that's still on fire and stuff coming out and all blown to crap. Same building, sure enough. So at one point, it was a nice city. So it was disturbing to see it. And he's like, I don't know what to do. Where do I go? My home is gone. And obviously, we helped whatever we could, but just a shame that it went to that because of some militia groups trying to be in charge, right? The same dirty government that a lot of countries have. They're just transparent with theirs there. Other countries try to hide it. What was a rare case of country without a government? Somalia in the 90s. Frank J. Nailed it. That could have been my whole story right there. That's what it was. It was just chaos. Nobody knew who was in charge, and nobody was in charge. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Yeah, it was a shame. Again, kind of put everything into perspective too when that guy showed me his thing. Hammer. What is that? Is that what's it called? Help me, producer. Semper Fi Hammer. Super chat. That's what it's called? Super chat Hammer. God bless you, brother. Thank you very much. That's what this community is about. That's going to help us continue. Super chat. Thanks, Carl. That is going to help us with our mission to continue to serve and help every one of you, any of you that needs help, veterans and their families. The transition from military life to the civilian community, the civilian sector, not learning the hard way, setting them up for success. Thank you, Hammer. Semper Fi, brother, and God bless you. Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. What a way to end the night. Appreciate you, brother. Cheers, everyone. All right. That's awesome. Appreciate it. Can't say it enough. Sun Tzu, Randy. Hey, Randy, good to see you, brother. The original 6'5". Read it daily. The original 6-5. Who knows what the 6-5 is? Look at USMC Cece. You better know what the 6-5 is. As you know, my daughter is a Marine sergeant. She is in an infantry unit. the MAC. She's going to teach McMap right now. She's a brown belt instructor. She's going to hold a McMap course. So stand by. Get some. Yep. Treasonous corruption at its finest. That's what Somalia was. Carlos, you're right. Whatever's what's convenient to them, I'm telling you. And we recognize it the very first. And we're happy. Americans are good people, man. The first load of big pallet full of rice, we were like, oh, this is great. Let's get it out there and to see the corruption. Oh, man. Skylar T, another one. I mean, I can spend my SDA pay on you. You getting SDA pay? Another one, Skylar. Another super chat. Man, you guys are awesome. God bless you all. Man, unreal. Appreciate you. Again, welcome to your, all of you are helping us grow this community. It's very humbling to me. I'm telling you, we, as you all can tell, we're not money driven, but we know we need money for the mission. So God bless you, man. That's awesome. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, Skylar T. God bless you. And yes, SDA pay. At least they still have SDA pay. Loved it as a DI. Awesome. Man, you guys are great. Anderson Hope, make sure her LOI and ORM is solid. She's pretty solid, Anderson. She was working on it all week prior to going. She just took off this morning to go teach that course, 1 week course. Awesome. Man, you guys are great. Thank you, Hammer. We appreciate you. Man, you guys you're killing me. You're leaving me speechless. Just kidding. Awesome. Wow. Carlos Diaz says, would your daughter have gone Marine if females had to get same haircuts as males? Absolutely. She wanted to go bald just like me. She looks just like me. I don't know. Good question, Carlos. Let's see if she answers on here. I remember saying that for a while. Marines need to female, all Marines, one haircut. I don't know if I'd want to see a bunch of bald females. And even 0 to 1, 0 to 3 looks unnecessary. But good question, Carlos. Isaac says, I'm trying to join the Marines and they're offering me 06 as XX comms. I don't know if I like it or if I should just go infantry. Great question, Isaac. Anyone, any comm bubbas out there? Comm, you can talk about them, but you can't talk without them. So we definitely need communications in the Marine Corps. I don't know enough about it, right? Hammer, back me up. We're the Prick 77 crew, big bulky radios and never got any connectivity, but it's a completely different ball game now, and it's definitely something that probably would help you out in the future after the Corps. The communication, the cyber network stuff that goes on now, not a bad call, but you know, deep down, what I'm going to recommend to every single person who ever asked me, 0300 infantry. USMC says, Cece says, maybe Carlos, doing a perfect sock bun every morning takes time. And she does have the perfect sock bun in boot camp. Yeah, I'm going to talk about it for a minute. In boot camp, her sock bun was so good, the DIs had her show the other platoons how to get that perfect sock bun. She had JROTC for 4 years, nailed it. And even when the female Marines went to a relaxed grooming standard, drove her and her family crazy. We won't get started on that, but it's bad for their scalp and their hair and all that, but it's solid. It looks awesome. But good question. Should females go 0 to 3? I don't think so. And I'm all about uniformity and a stickler, and my OCD kicks in, but I definitely don't like the relaxed grooming standard with their hair down in a lazy bun. I'm sure that's not what it's called, and I'll get some hate on here, but Jared asked, what's a sock bun? So that big, perfect tight bun, it's a like a sponge or something. They put in there, wrap their hair around it. It looks solid, looks perfect. Maybe just hers. But you can tell you right away. It's because some don't have enough hair to make a good solid bun back there, so they use a sock bun. I don't know. I only know because of her. but it looks solid and it looks squared away. Matthew, I did miss your comment. Matthew, come back up. If you're still around, Matthew, please put it back up. Crypto and staying on time, and make sure you do the correct frequencies during ops. Prick is up. Yes, also call for help. And yes, every now and then you got to find that prick E7 or sometimes the prick E8 or even the prick E9. Com guys are all different. Again, you have the wiremen, the radio men, the computer techs. There's a lot. USMC CC, we need you to do a tutorial on the SOC bun. Yes, everyone, we would like to see USMC CC give a tutorial on the SOC bun. Great idea. It's going to be right here, one of our lives. Caucus, hello, good to see you. Isn't the Marine Corps thinking about getting rid of the bun due to hair loss? I don't know, Carlos. Again, I've been doing it for so long. Why is it a problem now? I don't know. Again, I'm not a female, so it doesn't affect me. I'm not active duty. It doesn't, but man, it looks squared away. Marines are different. We are fanatical, and we're different because of things like that. Man, Matthew Askren, good to see you, brother. Family Farms LLC, going to Lieutenant Colonel Wilhelm's retirement from North Command in Colorado Springs tomorrow. Wow. Please tell him, Era Semper Fi, my friend. Awesome. Lieutenant Colonel. Man, good to hear. I'm glad you're able to go, Matthew. Please give him love from all of us here at SFMF, and congratulations. And then tell him to join us so he can tell us what he's doing now. Awesome. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate you. And Family Farms, everyone. Family Farms LLC. We're on the move right now, Matthew. That's why we haven't stopped long enough to order some stuff. But tell you, as soon as we're done, I'm getting me some bacon wrap chicken, bacon wrap anything. I'm getting it. You'll see some big orders coming from us. Former comm school instructor here. Very cool. Oh, so right there, former comm school instructor. Ask about comm stuff. Matthew, somebody just asked, thinking about going 06XX. What should they do? Yes. It's the prick E3 you got to watch out for. E3 Mafia, brother. I mean, you know what it is. E3 Underground, the E3, the barracks lawyers. You got to watch out for them prick E3s. Where's that? Q's asking where's the retirement? For we'll see. Man. Hammer, my call sign has been Warhammer for a long time. Glad you got the name Hammer. Thank you, Anderson Ho. Missed that. Way to go, Anderson. What did I miss? I missed something that Anderson said. A lot of hammers out there. Hammer. I'm junkin. I think he seems like a hammer as well. What did I miss Anderson say? First super chat. Did we get another super chat? I can't see. Did it come up? Did I miss it? Oh, Anderson, super chat. Another one? Come on, you guys. You guys are awesome. Anderson dropped a super chat. I missed it. I didn't see it. Maybe it's on here. I can see it on there. Thank you, Anderson. Oh, man, God bless you guys. You're killing it. Awesome. Man, I'm getting hot and sweaty over here. Thank you, Anderson. Thank you for always your contribution. Always just you being on the channel as well. All of you guys. So always super chat. Another one. Awesome. Man, you guys are great. Appreciate you. Man, Isaac, you get to go in the field as an 06. I hate being at the desk, and I'm hoping to re-enlist after special operations or recon. Should I just take the 06 comm? So yes, you are in the field. And y'all throw me off with these super chats. But yes, do comm guys go in the field? Absolutely. You're the first one to be shot in the field. Just kidding. But yes, you have to be, that's how you communicate. So radio operators, recon, you go into recon, you go into special operations. MARSOC has radio operators. So yeah, you won't be behind a desk. There are some, the data dinks. Again, I don't know the differences, and you can help us out. But radio operators got to be on with every squad, every patrol. You got to have some kind of communications. And they teach us a lot of infantrymen know the radio systems, and sometimes we have radio operators that aren't even 06s. So we always need communicators. And you got to carry all that gear, extra batteries. Remember that, man, the Prig 77s and the extra batteries, and you're always changing the batteries. You had to cover the whole thing with trash bags and poke the little holes. That's what I remember of comm. Never want to be the comm guy. And you're running. You got to be, you're running from your position in the patrol to the commander, the patrol commander, platoon leader, whoever's leading that patrol. You're up and back, community. Get these guys on the horn. You got to know comm procedures, all that stuff. It's a great MOS. I wasn't one, but I always liked the comm guys. Again, you can talk about them, but you can't talk without them. So you need comm with you. That's not a dumb question, Isaac. Do they carry a rifle? Every Marine a rifleman. So your comm guy is stacked. Rifle, and probably I'd give them a pistol too. But yes, they carry rifles. Every Marine a rifleman. Comm guys do. Communication is the key with everything. Always. On infantry units, yes. Comm guys are everywhere. Comm Marines, everyone carries a rifle. Mice were always told, first bullet is yours. Yeah, I'm telling you, who would you shoot? Right? You see a patrol coming at you, shoot the point man because he's out there in front, but shooting the comm guy, you're looking for that antenna. So it's dangerous also. Always have the big, thick comm guys to help set up the OE, especially on the windy days. The big, huge antenna, man. And you got to set it up and tear it down, set it up and tear it down. And then the little satellite, the portable ones, you set it up and tear it down. Yes. I know as long ago they tell every combat MOS their life expectancy is blah, blah, blah. Like three seconds in a firefight, right? The turret gunner in a firefight on a mobile patrol. Yes, you're all targets. We are all targets. Life expectancy, come on, you're in combat. All right. Arizona 112, that's it. That was a cool day. Arizona's too hot. Isaac, 5'5", 150 pounds, pretty strong. I just do not want to become a liability. Get after it. You're going to be carrying some weight. You're okay. No matter what you do, you're going to be carrying some weight. So get after it. Put some meat on them bones, Isaac. Do some squats. Cardio. John says, I used to walk directly behind our CO. So close. I was picking his pockets at times. You got to be right there. CO's got to be able to talk. Communication is the key. Where's my radio operator? He's right behind you. Back up, John. Dude, it's weird. Those stacked dudes in white mess dress. Doesn't fit as good. Use your training and Marines in combat to stay alive. Yeah, there you go. Use your training. Man, well, I got to tell you, awesome night. Another awesome night with all of you. Awesome. Our super chats. Skylar, Hammer, Anderson, you guys are amazing. All of you. Love being here. Love the communication. Love the chats. Love the camaraderie. Love the community. It's growing. Appreciate you guys. Even until me and Mattis held it down tonight. We held it down. Our producer is with us. Yeah, I haven't got my butt chewed on the screen yet. Maybe she's waiting until after. Love you guys. Love you guys. Continue. So it is 7-Eleven. We didn't even get a chance to talk about 7-Elevens. We will next time. Sunday's the next live. Sunday, 1900 CST, Central Standard Time. Ryan Ansky, is that you, Ryan? Love the comment. $2 because I'm broke. But that's a super chat. Is that another super chat? It's a different color. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate you, brother. Awesome. Good on you. We're all broke. Appreciate you. And good to see you on here, Ryan. Awesome. Thank you, brother. Growth, Matthew. Appreciate you, brother. Again, all you guys. And we will see you Sunday, 1900. God bless you all. We'll see you soon. Thank you, Art. Let's continue to build and grow this community so we can help everybody. Everyone has a purpose. Semper Fi, my friend. Era.